Welcome to our lecture online. How do we decide that the variable that we're working with is actually a binomial random variable? So let's take this example. Let's say that we have a representative of a car manufacturing plant and they ask all the employees when they leave at the end of their shift what type of car that they drive, because they're interested to see how many of their employees drive the same kind of car as what they manufacture. Let's say it's a General Motors plant or a Ford plant or a Toyota plant or a Mazda plant, whatever it may be. And so they're going to let X represent the number of each type of car. So is X a binomial random variable? Well, for us to decide that, it needs to satisfy these 5 conditions. So first of all, each trial must be independent from every other trial. So in this case, a trial is the question to one of the employees. That's a trial, and if there's 10 employees, then we ask it 10 times. That's 10 trials. If it's 1,000 employees, we ask it 1,000 times. That's 1,000 trials. And it turns out that in this case, each answer of one employee does not affect answer of the other employees, so they are truly independent. The result or the response of one employee does not affect the response of every other employee. So here we can say that yes, it meets this condition. So we're still in the hunt for X being a binomial random variable. How about the second condition? Each trial has 2 possible outcomes. Now here we have a problem, because there's different types of cars, many different types of cars. So that means there's more than 2 possible outcomes. The car that we make in the manufacturing plant, plus many other brands of cars that employees could be driving. So in that case, it does not fit the bill. In other words, no, we're not dealing with a binomial random variable, because there's many different possibilities of different kinds of cars that could be driven. So it's definitely not a binomial random variable. Of course, the question at the very end kind of gives it away that we weren't dealing with a binomial random variable. How about 3? There are n repeated trials. Now in this case, n would represent the number of employees being asked. So yeah, indeed, that is correct. That would still fit the bill. So if it wasn't for condition number 2, we would still be looking for a binomial random variable. How about the probability of success, meaning finding the car being the same as what we manufacture, plus the probability of failure, the other possibility, that should add up to 1. But first of all, well, in this case, if everybody were to drive a car, that could be the case, right? The probability that you're not driving the car that you're manufacturing, plus the probability that you are driving the car that you're manufacturing, that should add up to 1. But what about the people that ride their bicycle, or they walk to work, or they take the bus to work? So it still wouldn't add up to 1. Not if X represents the kind of car the employees drive. X should then represent any other mode of transportation. So in this case, you could say again that no, that would not be the case in our example here. And finally, the 5th condition, the random variable X is the number of successes that occur in all trials. And that would be correct, of course. If you let X be the number of employees that drive the same type of cars being manufactured in the plant, the same brand of car, then X could indeed represent that variable. So yeah, in this case we would say yes. But we definitely have 2 no's. So now the question is, how can we turn that X into a binomial random variable? Well, we would have to do 2 things. First of all, we would have to exclude anybody who's not driving a car. So the first question is, do you drive a car to work and home? And if you don't drive a car, then we want to ask the second question. Then you're excluded from the survey. So we only want to talk to people that drive the cars to and from work. The second thing we have to do is we have to divide it into 2 groups. One group is you drive the car that we manufacture, the brand that we manufacture, and the other possibility is you drive another type of car, any other type of car, that's then the other category. So if we split into 2 groups, one group being the car that we manufacture here, and the other one is any other type of car, then we would have a binomial random variable. And of course, we'd also have to exclude anybody that doesn't have a car or that doesn't drive a car to work. And that is so we can take X and make it a binomial random variable. Then it would meet all 5 conditions. And that is how it's done. Okay.